Mushrooms.
Mushroom. So, of course, in the Czech and Slovak republics, mushrooms are wonderful. You'll walk through the forest and you smell them, and they're great. And here, we really have a hard time finding mushrooms sometimes. They're not as plentiful. So, tell us all about Hobie Days, when it is, what's going to happen, and so forth.
Absolutely. So Hobie Days is a wonderful celebration. It's a celebration of heritage here in Czech Village. It's a longtime festival. We're actually celebrating the 48th edition of it
Wow.
next weekend. It starts on May 16th and goes through the weekend, May 17th, so Saturday and Sunday. We're going to have a kickoff event here at the Kozak stand Friday night. That's going to be 5 to 7 with the Czech Plus band. And then the celebrations really kick off the next day with the raising of the flag at 9 a.m. And then we have a parade at 10 a.m. that's going to go through Nubo and Czech Village as well. So this is my first time in the Hobie Days committee. I'm really excited to be representing the museum.
Well, we're happy to have you there. So, it's going to start, we're going to kick off on Friday night. And then on Saturday, tell us about some of the things that are happening on Saturday.
Absolutely. There's going to be music. There's going to be food vendors. There's going to be activities here at the museum. We're actually going to be hosting our demonstration alley in Rozek Hall. So we're going to have different vendors showcasing their crafts, lots of music throughout the day. And then, like I said, the parade, which starts at 10 a.m.
That's great. So, are we going to have a Kolach baking demonstration too?
There's going to be a Kolach baking demonstration here in the classroom at the museum, which is going to be led by Cecilia and our Kolach crew.
Our Kolach crew. I'm just going to be there to make sure. You know, we make kolaches here at the National Czech and Slovak Museum in our certified kitchen, and we can't keep up sometimes.
Yeah.
And our Kolach crew, under the direction of Peggy Detweiler, does a great job. And I know they've been baking all. They're going to have them for sale too.
Absolutely. We're going to have a booth down on 16th Avenue, the museum. We're going to be selling kolaches all weekend.
Great.
And then we're going to be giving out free candy.
Oh, really?
Free
Wow.
passes to the museum as well. So I would encourage families to stop by and say hello to us. We're going to be right in front of Baritones on 16th Avenue.
Okay. And did you hear that? Free passes?
Free passes to the museum. So you can come check out the galleries with your family. You can give those passes away to your friends if you'd like. But yeah, I'm really, really excited.
That is.
And the new thing that we're going to have this year, sorry to interrupt you,
No.
we're going to have a Kolach baking contest as well. So that's going to be for the
Wow.
first time ever.
Really? Oh my goodness. Do we get to sample?
There's going to be judges, but I'm sure we can,
Oh
we can
my
give you a sample.
goodness, how exciting. And then did I also understand a lot of queens are coming? You know, every year in Wilbur, Nebraska, in August, we have the Miss Czech Slovak U.S. pageant. And their queens come from all over the country, and I understand a lot of them are coming here.
We are going to have a lot of the queens. I'm not sure how many we have confirmed, but I hear that many queens are going to be visiting us this year.
From all over the country, I hear.
Exactly.
Texas and all over
Nebraska, Isabel Sherman, our queen here from Iowa, she's going to be
our
there.
first runner-up nationally, so we're very proud of Isabel.
Absolutely.
She's doing a great job. And so tell us about, did I hear we're going to have some dancers too?
We're going to have some dancers. So we have a group from California, Karichka, is that how
Karichka,
it's pronounced? They're going to be visiting us from California. They are actually going to be participating with us in the parade. So they're going to be marching along with us with our float, and then they are going to have special performances on Saturday and Sunday as well down on 16th Avenue. We're really excited to be hosting them, thanks to Martin Izakovich, one of our board members who was able to coordinate that.
Yeah, this is exciting because they're from San Diego, California, and I know they've been wanting to come here a long time. And then I hear we have a group from St. Paul, Minnesota.
St. Paul, Minnesota, exactly. That's going to be performing as well. And then we have our Svetlushki group that's also going to be performing on Sunday.
So we have our very own special dance group, and then we have so 3 dance groups. Wow. Will people be able to dance on the street if they want?
If they want, absolutely.
Okay, okay. And then did I also understand we're going to have vendors on the street?
We're going to have vendors. There's going to be morel mushrooms. There's going to be food vendors. People selling crafts. The vendors open up at 9 a.m. on Saturday. And then there's going to be activities and music throughout the evening going through 10 p.m.
Wow.
My sister and my wife are actually volunteering this year as well. They're going to be doing giant bubbles by the Orloy, which they're really excited about
that's
for the kids.
So that'll be great because, you know, the Orloy is such a centerpiece, and so they can come and listen and see the bubbles.
Exactly.
And is there a car show too?
There is a car show. There's going to be a car show around Inspiration Drive.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's going to be a beautiful car show. That starts at, it's right after the parade on Saturday.
So the parade starts at
10
10
a.m.
o'clock, and then the car show. And are they going to have a balloon ride this year or not?
No,
They're not going to have a balloon ride.
no.
But they've got a lot of vendors on, and most of the vendors selling things will be on 16th Ave.
Exactly.
And did I hear you say, you kind of said morel mushrooms?
Morel mushrooms, exactly.
Whoa, those are like a delicacy. When you get a morel mushroom here, that's like a golden streak.
Absolutely. So they're going to be selling morel mushrooms starting at 9 a.m. until they sell out, and they sell out
Quickly.
So.
I think last year they sold out like whatever, really fast.
Exactly.
So let's recap. We start for Friday night with a band stand in Czech Village.
Czech Plus Band.
Czech Plus Band for
5
2
to
hours.
7.
Okay, and then they can still, will the vendors be out there already on Friday? No.
No. Vendors open at 9 a.m. on Saturday.
So then come on Saturday, then the parade is at 10. The car show follows that. A lot of queens will be interacting, and a lot of things going on here at the
Lots
museum.
of music this year.
And lots going on here in the museum.
Exactly.
Like you said, Rozak Hall is going to be filled, and then we'll have lots of things there. And then on Saturday night, is there anything special Saturday night?
Music throughout the night. It ends at 10 p.m.
Wow, that's great.
And then one thing I'm really excited about this year is our Hobie Days logo. We are actually honoring the Moravian Madonna, which is the mural that we have here in Czech Village that we dedicated last year. Exactly. Joseph Uprka, work of art. It's a beautiful, beautiful work of art. And we're actually going to be showing a curated guided tour here at the museum by Stephanie Cohn of the exhibit that we had, the Joseph Uprka exhibit that we had here at the museum in these past few months.
And that will be in our theater here?
In our theater here in the museum. That's going to be from noon to 1:30 on Saturday, and then from 1 to 2:30 on Sunday. So we would definitely encourage people to come to the museum. If you didn't get a chance to check out the exhibit in person, we have that beautiful guided tour by Stephanie Cohn, and we are going to be presenting a lecture by Mr. George Strost, who is the largest private collector of Joseph Uprka art. And again, that's going to be shown in our theater here on Saturday and Sunday. So we're really excited about that.
Where can people get programs? How can people, this is so great. You told us everything, but how, I'm sitting here listening to this, how can I see a program?
Yes, please go to CzechVillageCedarRapids.com. That's the website. The program is up there. Otherwise, all of our programs and pamphlets are going to be throughout businesses in Czech Village. Okay. We are still looking for volunteers, so if anyone's interested in volunteering or donating any items for the silent auction or raffle, we would please encourage you to go to the website and participate.
And if they have any quick questions, they can call you here.
Absolutely, or Michelle Semino.
Michelle Semino, who is our representative from Czech Village.
Exactly.
She works here, so that's great.
Absolutely.
So we have two big cheerleaders.
Exactly. And then another thing I forgot to mention is this year's Grand Marshal for our parade is Pam Lewis.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yes, Pam Lewis. She is a business owner. She was a business owner for over 35 years down in Czech Village. She's been on the board for our Czech Heritage Foundation, and then she has also served in the Czech Village Association as president, vice president. So we're really excited to honor Pam Lewis. And her husband are actually longtime volunteers of the museum as well. I first met them at Bruno's.
Sure, yeah,
Yes,
they're Croy. And you know what's interesting about it, Pam went over to Olomouc at Politsky University and taught English for several years. They went there and she ended up teaching English and had a great time and really solidified her connection to the Czech and Slovak communities.
Absolutely, she's a great person.
So what, if you had to give anybody some like cheerleading advice, what would you tell them this weekend to come and...
Come and celebrate with us. Come enjoy the food. Hang out with your family. It's a beautiful celebration. I had the honor of working it for the first time last year. I live in the community, so it's always really fun to see everyone just so happy and enjoying the music and the vendors. So we would encourage everyone to stop by.
And you know what I would like to encourage people to, if they have a croy or a folkware at home, to wear it, because sometimes we just stick them in a closet. But if you have a croy or a native folkware, Czech or Slovak, why don't you wear it and join the queens and join us in the parade?
In the parade, this is going to be actually the largest parade we've had so far.
Oh,
so we're
wonderful.
really excited about that. Yeah.
I know the museum is building a great float.
Exactly. I'll be helping. I'll be pulling it with my truck.
Oh wow, with that iconic truck. Thank you.
And then Trisha Bender, our lovely curator team, is working on the float. So we did a great job last year. I believe we had best float.
Yes, we did.
So We are hoping to retain that title this year.
Oh, it looks like I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it, so it sounds wonderful. Well, Luis, thank you for your service, thank you for your leadership, and thank you for serving on this committee. And I know you'll be out on 16th Ave.
Absolutely.
Selling collages?
Selling collages, providing information, giving out free passes to the museum, so we hope to see you there.
And you'll also be handing out some memberships if people want to buy their membership to the museum for some great programs coming up.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Luis.
Thank you so much, Cecilia.
Pleasure. Okay.
Pleasure.
Hello and welcome. This is Anna Tenlasky, and we are so incredibly proud of Anna because this past weekend we had our big weekend, our gala weekend, and dedication of a very, very important book collection. And Anna, I know you had a big part of it. It's the Congressman John Mica Rare Book Collection. Do you want to tell us all about it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I've got the program that I created for that exhibit opening, but these programs are also available when you can come to see the exhibit yourself. But the Congressman John L. Mica collection, I titled Antiquarian Books of Central Europe. So this is a process that actually started almost a year ago. On June 6th of 2025 is when Congressman John Mica last visited us here, and that was when the initial transfer of these books occurred. And a little bit about the books. There's 50 total, 30 of which I have on display.
Wow, wow.
But 50 total, and they're all antiquarian. The earliest book is 1643. Most of them are in the 1700s, but so these are very old, very rare, many of them in the original bindings, really beautifully kind of illuminated and really show kind of that early printing culture in Central Europe and especially in the Slovak lands. And that's what really inspired John Mica with this collection. Was he did so much travel. He himself is of Slovak descent, Western Slovakia, Sobatisht and Kopčany, as I know. And he worked very closely with Antikvariat Steiner in Bratislava, a bookstore, an antiquarian bookstore that still exists to this day. Mrs. Steiner, he worked very closely with her to source these items, and every time he would visit, he would pick up a couple new books and really created this great relationship. And I know he's a book collector. You know, this is only one of his collections. It's a big passion for him. It really connects him to his roots in the, former Austro-Hungarian lands. And I had an excellent time just meeting him, going over them. I was the first one to kind of create a bibliography of these items. So it's and now it's full circle. I'm here with the exhibit, and so I've been with them through their full life cycle here at NCSML.
Well, Anna, you've done a great job, and Anna has taken on the leadership from our library here at the National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library to really not only catalog, but to identify and really show to the public what these rare books mean. This is such a valuable addition to our National Library. It really, I think, elevates us even more now with we have the Kolach collection, and we have our other rare books and even music pieces. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you did in the booklet? Because I know Congressman Mica really likes that booklet.
Yeah. So this booklet is, I started it, and I just kind of introduced the collection, talk about his experience, the collecting journey, as well as a little bit of history behind his family and why he decided to collect from this area. And then I kind of move forward into a catalog. And so in order to fit all the 30 items, I just did numbering rather than using big labels and decided to create little descriptive vignettes, in the program. And so you get the title of the item, the year, the publisher, location, and then just a few sentences about what the item is, any significance historically. One of the items, for example, is one of the first geographical texts to include correct mapping of Hungary, for example. So that is noted. Many of the texts are going to be evangelical or Protestant, those who are persecuted, so that is noted as well. There are Catholic texts as well, and there are judicial texts as in addition. And so you'll see all of these descriptions, so you can get a real description and in-depth view of all these different books, even if you don't know those languages.
Yeah, well, no, you did a great job, and I know that Congressman Mike and his wife Pat were very, very happy with it. Now, the oldest book, again, tell us what the oldest book is.
Yes, the oldest book is from 1643. Wow. Yes, a very, very interesting text. It has been rebound, but the original, inner pages are still there and in very, very good condition. And what's very interesting about the story behind this is that it's somewhat of a ghost story or a spirit appearance. And what this is actually, it's the record of an eclipse ecclesiastical trial that occurred from 1642 to 1643, when it was published, of a sighting of a spirit claiming to be called Clement. He said he was a former reeve of a nearby town to Bratislava, and he appeared to this young woman named Regina, saying that he wanted to atone for the sins in his lifetime and to request from his widow a sum, I think, in the amount of 200 gold coins at the time, to create a Pietà statue at St. Martin's Cathedral. And he appeared to her many different times, with various different means. He apparently left handprints on wood, like burn marks, and in shrouds. And again, he appeared to her in multiple different locations. And she did kind of go through with this and rallied and got this money procured from his widow. The Pietà statue was selected, was carved, and it was, he even, I guess, apparently had a say in the wood chosen for this. And then once it was finally set up in St. Martin's Cathedral, he never appeared again. And so he seemingly was released from purgatory and was able to kind of move on to his eternal life after his atonement.
And this St. Martin's, just for those of you, is in Bratislava.
Yes.
And it's if you go to Bratislava, be sure you visit, because it's a very important church. St. Martin's is an iconic church. And
this Pietà statue is still there. So you can still see it. And what this trial was essentially going over these witness statements. There were 32 different witnesses to these various events. And it was managed by the Archdiocese at the time. And so it kind of goes through that. And so very, very interesting.
That is so, and I'm so glad you researched that, because I was fascinated at what you're going to do with this. We've got this beautiful display that Anna put together, and tell our audience what you're going to do with the pages.
Yes, so these, as I mentioned, are very old books. They're antiquarian. We use the term antiquarian, which just means really old, right? But they are very fragile. Books back then were made with much different materials, much more volatile materials that are much more likely to disintegrate or wear down over time. And so not only are they kept, when they're off display in our closed storage, which is, humidity controlled, no natural light, while they are on display, we have swapped out some of the lighting to minimize UV exposure, to reduce lux and foot candles, which can fade over time. And every month until the end of this exhibit, which will be in September, I will be taking the tops of the cases off, and I will be changing the pages to which they are open, so as to not leave one page open for too long to cause that fading, because preservation is really key here.
And of course with the white gloves.
Yes.
The white gloves.
Yeah, very careful. Yeah, very careful. We want to minimize touching, and that's why, they're kind of behind that glass, because some of these are only one of 3 or 4 copies, in the world.
Well, we are so grateful again to Congressman Micah and his wife for giving us this wonderful collection to the museum, and I think there are even some more to come.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And I think what you've done, Anna, is really bring it to the public in a way that they really value it even more. And I'm sure people had questions for you, didn't they?
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. I had a lot of, at the opening, I had many different conversations, kind of asking specifics about how I created the exhibit, but also, just specific questions about the books themselves. And then, of course, with John Micah's generosity and this kind of being a result of his, his passion throughout his life, I feel that it has almost inspired others, because I had others coming up to me and saying, hey, I might have some antiquarian books you might be interested in, that I just kind of wasn't even thinking about. And so it's really opened up that avenue for people to see that, no, these are very important things, and we can kind of grow this collection.
And I see the possibility, too, for research students, graduates,
absolutely,
to look at some of these books, to look at the stories, the themes, especially the religious, non-religious, and it's a lot of opportunity for research.
Definitely, and also those interested in printing culture, printing history. John Micah specifically spoke about Trnava being like a very, very huge cradle, of these early printing presses, and many of the texts that he donated are from Trnava.
Right. At one time, they had like many.
Yes.
Printing presses.
They had like over 60 or
Yeah, I know
something
that,
like
yeah.
that.
Interesting.
Yeah, very early on, and it really shows, the importance of, the printing press as an invention, of course,
Right,
but
right.
also that these rich literary intellectual discussions were being had in the Slovak lands at that time.
Well, that is so interesting. And especially now in the world of AI and computers, these books, I think, are even more valuable and,
Yes.
and richer for the scholar and for even the general public to know about.
Oh, definitely,
Right.
definitely,
Now,
yes.
tell our viewing audience, you did this wonderful booklet, you put it together. If they say, I'd really like a copy, is it available?
Yes, so actually I am able to print copies of this just using our printing system. I can create it and just kind of staple it in the middle for you. I can also just send you the digital file if you prefer the digital file as well. But I always have copies ready to go for viewing. I have a large print version as well. So you can come in, take a look, grab a program, and I'll be here to answer any questions you might have.
And so they can either email you at a.tanoski
Yes.
or at ncsml.org,
Yes.
or they can call you.
Yep,
at
they can call me.
319-362-8500. What's your extension?
319.
319.
No, it's 120.
120.
120,
Okay,
I
120. And so email her, and I know that she'd be happy to talk with you and happy to even send you one of these ones, because they really are, the
Definitely,
books are
yeah.
wonderful. And any final words you want to share with our audience?
This is kind of our first inaugural book exhibit in the library, and so I'm just really, really happy that I was able to be a part of it. And I think it was so successful already, and I'm sure people will really enjoy it. And I really look forward to showing more, of our items going forward, because we have so many things that are kind of hidden that I really want to show our community.
Oh, well, thank you so much, in our nation and our world as well. Anna, you did a great job.
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you.